Opening statements started today in the triple murder trial of Lindsay Clancy, a Massachusetts mother accused of strangling her 3 children. That was in January of 2023.
And Clancy has pleaded not guilty to the killings. Her lawyers arguing she is not criminally responsible because of postpartum psychosis. However, prosecutors say Clancy planned everything carefully and acted intentionally.
Fox's Asher Red is in Plymouth, Massachusetts for us this evening. And Asher, you were in the courtroom. What did you notice? Tell us about it.
Well, Randy and Simone, a lot of legal experts are saying that this trial could have an impact on how postpartum mental illness can support an insanity defense. I was sitting about 20 feet behind Lindsay Clancy in the courtroom earlier today. She didn't move around all that much, but she did appear very emotional when the attorney started speaking of her children, and especially when her ex-husband took the stand. Patrick Clancy didn't even make eye contact with the mother of his own children until the judge asked him to identify her in the courtroom. He said his wife started taking prescription drugs about 4 months before the killings to deal with the stress of caring for their 3 children. But those pills, he says, drove her even further into depression. And months later, Patrick says his ex-wife started having thoughts of hurting herself and their children.
She wasn't really improving. She just kind of seemed to be gradually becoming more in like a depressed state. She described thoughts of hurting the kids or them having some sort of ailment.
And Lindsay Clancy's defense attorney is not disputing the facts of this case. He actually agrees with prosecutors that Clancy strangled her 3 young children with workout resistance bands in the basement of their Duxbury, Massachusetts home. The defense also agrees that Clancy apparently tried ending her own life by jumping from a 2nd-story window after the killings, which left her partially paralyzed. The question here is whether she was in a psychotic state at the time. Clancy's attorney says she was suffering from extreme mental illness and postpartum depression. In a separate lawsuit against her medical provider, Clancy said a voice in her head told her to kill her children before taking her own life. But prosecutors say Clancy planned it all.
She drew her husband out of the house, their father, so that she had the opportunity and the time to carry out these murders.
They brought this charge. Tim Cruz, the DA, right in the front row, brought this charge. He knew, as did his office, the facts of this case. And he knew, when he brought this charge, that it was going to kill the soul of this young woman.
And medical experts are expected to focus their testimony on the effects of mental health illnesses caused by postpartum depression. This trial could last up to 2 months. Randy and Simone.
All right, Asher, thank you.